seminar, how circularity can help mitigate climate energy with four innovative Walloon company. We are very pleased to welcome our minister and our ambassador to this session. So I will save time because we have little technical problems, so we can begin. So what's the agenda? We have a welcoming word and an introduction by our minister. We have also some companies who will explain how they can help climate emergency with the solution of the circular economy, and after we can discuss about. Okay, so can I invite you, Mr. Minister, to introduce this seminar? Thank you.
Certainly. Ce micro-là ne va pas? D'accord. On va faire comme ça. OK. Voilà. Dear colleagues, Mr. the Ambassador, dear colleagues in your qualities, it is an honor that I deliver this in the introductory speech to this event organized by AWEX, the Walloon Export Agency for Wallonie. We will have a demonstration of Belgian know-how in the important field of the circular economy. It is a priority of the government, led by my colleagues, ministers of economy and of environment. The circular economy is a major pillar of our recovery and the redeployment of our region. It is a real lever for companies facing social challenge. It offers multiple economic opportunities to Walloon businesses and stakeholders. It directly employs more than 14,000 people in Wallonia and around 56,000 if we take into account jobs, indirect jobs, or 6.8% of Walloon employment. In 2021, the Walloon government adopted Circular Wallonia, the first strategy for deploying the circular economy in the Walloon region, for which no less than 220 million euros were mobilized. Circular Wallonia intends to coordinate, strengthen and amplify regional dynamics in the circular economy. The strategy includes 10 ambitions translated into 60 specific measures, which aim to facilitate the circular transition of Walloon economic actors. It is based on participatory and flexible governance, which ensures effective implementation of actions. Halfway through the implementation of Circular Wallonia, of the 61 measures included in the strategy, 69% have already been started or closed. The others are being planned for the next 2 years of the strategy. The circular economy thus becomes our concrete commitment to the conservation of our resources and the preservation of the delicate balance of our ecosystem. In our quest to build a sustainable community, the circular economy is emerging as a guiding principle. It strengthens the ties between us by creating synergy between the health of our environment and the prosperity of our local economy. Responsible innovation is the driving force behind this transition. By promoting the circular economy, we are adopting an innovative approach, stimulating process and progress while preserving our planet. Each initiative, each innovative idea contributes to sculpting a future where creativity serves preservation, where innovation becomes synonymous with responsibility towards our environment. The circular economy is not just a vision, but a concrete action. I now give the floor to the organizer and the speakers for this session, which promised to be interesting.
Thank you. So I'll invite all the Stefan Nerings. I must insist to keep the schedule, so be on time and show me if I made you a sign that you are too long. Thank you.
Thank you, Fabien. So, my name is Stefan Nering, and today I represent the cluster of innovation named Green Win. My presentation is as follows. First, a quick presentation of the innovation cluster Green Win. Then, starting from the European strategy, the definition of the Wallon strategy in circularity of materials. And then, to keep time, I will give you one example of structuring R&D project for our region. So first, Green Win, since 2011, Green Win has been the Walloon Green Tech Innovation Cluster dedicated to green chemistry, sustainable construction, and green technologies. Green Win is the reference body in Wallonia as far as circular economy, Industry 5.0, and carbon neutrality are concerned. This cluster contributes to solve the social challenges of resource availability and global warming. A few years ago, the European Union has asked all European regions to draw up a smart specialization strategy called S3 for R&D in their territory. Each region must focus its resources on those areas of innovation in which it has the greatest competitive advantage over other European regions. With the aim of strengthening synergy between research and innovation policies and enable investment to be efficiently. In Wallonia, this European strategy has led to the adoption of 5 strategic innovation areas. You can see this on the slide, but the last and not least of these areas is circular materials. Okay? So, within circular Wallonia, this gave rise to the first circular economy deployment strategy in Wallonia called Circular Wallonia. The aim is to move towards an economy carbon neutral, regenerative in the use of resources and preserving biodiversity, resilient and inclusive, and also stimulating innovation and digital transition. Within Circular Wallonia, we have defined 6 value chains: plastics, metallurgy, construction, textiles, water, and agri-food. For the first 3 areas, plastic, metallurgy, and construction, there is a need of a global approach, as most of the secondary materials to be recycled today are composite waste, plastic metals, mineral, or others, that are very difficult to manage, and yet concern major social issues: mobility, for example, recycling of batteries; energy, for example, recycling of windmill blades; and sustainable construction. So, this is a quick summary of how Wallonia wants to make circularity of materials an innovation and economic development of the region. To give you an example of an R&D program, a big R&D program in Wallonia called Cosmosem. The pitch is simple: from local waste to reactive and low carbon cementitious materials. Some word of explication. So, starting from waste, coming from quarries, for example, or from concrete plants, or other industrial waste, like demolition waste, or steel slag, for example. After a process of activation process, it can be mechanical processing, heating processes of combination of the two technologies, you can fabricate a new reactive material. Then you take this new reactive material and you substitute it you substitute clinker from cement with a part of this new reactive material. The example here from the industrial give a substitution of 28% of clinker. Then you put it at the end of the process of fabrication of a cement, of a clinker, and then you can produce a new generation of compost cement with more, sorry, the last, it doesn't work, but you have a diminution of 30% of equivalent CO2 per ton of cement. So it's a real new good news and a very important new way to fabricate cement for this industry. A second one, very rapidly, called Remind Wallonia. It's another kind of innovation. Remind Wallonia is a technological platform. So Remind means reversed mineral industry. And the pitch is very simple also. In 2030, Wallonia will be the mineral valley of Northwest Europe. The objective of this platform is to put together the 5 stakeholders that are absolutely needed to perform in an innovation ecosystem. It's the MIT, the well-known MIT University in the United States, who give us this scheme. So the 5 stakeholders are, of course, the entrepreneurs. You need entrepreneurs, be the leader of your project. You also need risk capital association. You need what they name corporate, that means big industry, so international industry that are located in your region. You also need the public authorities, and we have it in Remind. And last but not least, the university and the research center. So all these stakeholders work together today in 7 different projects with a total budget of 23 million euro, subsidies by the Walloon region. And the 2 main goals of the platform are first one, to redevelop and perpetuate a strong manufacturing industry in Wallonia, generating sustainable, non-delocalizable jobs. And the second one is to strengthen the economic resilience of the mineral sector by moving towards a decarbonated and circular Walloon industry. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Stéphane. So Walloon has a strong strategy in circular economy, and it works. A recent study of the OECD told us that Belgium is the second most circular economy, just behind Netherlands. So it works. And yes, Stéphane works hand by hand with some companies, and I call Frédéric Dufour from Groupe Dufour to explain how it can recycle the blades from the wind turbines. It's okay.
Thank you, Fabien. Hello, everybody. Let me present myself. I am Frédéric Dufour from the company Dufour, family-owned company, located in Tournai. Recently, we have been in contact with the research center, the CTP, also located in Tournai. And we have processed a new system in order to recycle the wind blades called Recipal. And it doesn't work. Okay. Let me first present the Groupe Dufour, and then I will explain in a few words what is the project and how it works in general. And I will then emphasize what are the main issues in this project in a SWOT analysis. So the Groupe Dufour is a service company for companies in the construction. We have service in lifting, so we work for installation of wind turbines all over Europe with heavy cranes since now the early 2000s. In this, we also ensure the transportation of the... I'm sorry? Yeah. Can you sit here? Yep. Okay. We also ensure the transportation and the logistic of these big parts and components of wind turbines. And we do this not exclusively by road, but also we have invested extensively in terminals because we believe in waterways. So we have a lot of terminals in the region of Tournai, Namur, Pec, and also in the Vlaamse region in Avelgem. We are active in the environment. We collect waste from collectivities, but also from companies, all type of waste, and we have a sorting center in Tournai, where we collect industrial waste, we collect municipality waste, deconstruction waste, and also now waste coming from the wind industry. We are active in construction, demolition, concrete, and also energy. So with this we have an expertise in wind power lifting, also in logistic, as I told, and we are present at all chain value. This is very important because we are in contact with the customers and also with the construction companies of the wind turbines. I can call Vestas, Enercon, Siemens, GE, etc., etc. These are our clients who ask us to install, to transport, and now to dismantle the wind turbines. So we have a real expertise. Compagnie Dufour, we are 1,000 people, around about 500 lifting equipments, yeah, and a lot of trucks and a lot of teams. About the wind turbine. So wind turbine, every component of the wind turbine is can be recycled. We have the tower, we have the generator, we have the foundation. Well, everything can be 100% recycled except the blades. The blades are composed with resin and glass fiber. And at this moment, the wind blades are exclusively scrapped, shred, and then put into oven for the cemetery industry. And of course, you can imagine this is a problem on many aspects, and especially on CO2 impact. So our clients, together with us, are really thinking about a new way of getting rid of these wind blades. So we were in contact with the research center CTP, and we found out that the wind blade is composed of 95% of composite material, and this is plastic reinforced with glass or carbon fibers. What will be the future? The future will be that, of course, if the lifetime of a wind turbine is around about 20-25 years, and that the first one were installed around about early 2000s, we are now in a new market to dismantle these wind blades, these wind turbines. And also, the first wind turbines were really low effective, and now the new ones are really much more efficient in terms of capacity. So in Europe, we can expect up to 150,000 tons per year of material to be recycled. And this in 2030 and even more in 2050. So it will be a really huge amount of material. So you have everybody seen this picture. In United States, they put this under the ground, which is of course not correct. What we do is we are going to dismantle, pre-treat, transport, and then recycle of low quality material. What we do now is we cut these wind blades on site, we put this on containers and then we shred it in situ, and then we collect the shredded equipment. Then we put it into a shredder, we sieve it and we purify it so that we can find the fibers. These fibers, we can collect up to 70 to 80% fiber recovery. What we do with this, we have made some analysis to mix it with concrete in order to improve the mechanical properties of this concrete. What is interesting in this application is that we have done it together with another company, a local company, and we want to have this product used really locally, so that in the end the whole chain value is the most optimized in terms of CO2. Example of application is, for example, motorway safety barriers. This is the scheme, but I will not go into details, otherwise my friend Fabien will not be happy. Conclusion, SWOT. As I told, yeah, we have a lot of strength into our company because we are present in this value chain since now some time. The most weakness is the geographic dispersion of this wind spark. And the problem is also the logistic to collect and to recover this into a central recycling plant. And so at this moment we are not able to start this process because we have to collect around about 6,000 to 7,000 tons a year of this wind blade. One wind blade, to have an idea, is 7 tons to 10 tons. So a rotor is 21 tons to 30 tons. So it's not very heavy, and it's spread. And I need 6,000 to 7,000 a year for many years. So what I require is that the politics on an European level, thank you, can be thinking about responsabilité élargie du producteur, productor extended responsibility, and then make it that it is an harmonized, standardized collection system, so that operator like me can do it in a safe way, but also in a sustainable way in the future. So this is very important, and my presence here is to influence, find how we can make it that this type of material can be harmonized in terms of collection. Also, maybe if we go to the way of recycling, we should be able to deliver like an attest of recyclability or something, because my first competitor is of course the cemetery. I like the cemetery, this is not a problem, but they use the wind blades to burn, and this is not good for the environment. So I would like to thank you very much for your attention. I hope this was interesting, and I wish also a good visit at the COP28.
Thank you, Frédéric. Congratulations. You end 2 minutes before. So now the time for a little startup in the medical waste. So I call Olivier Dufresne to explain how he can handle the medical waste. Very interesting after what we lived in the sanitary crisis.
Thank you, Fabien. So good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to be here and talk about the circular economy and the problematic of medical waste. I will not really talk about eco-sterile, but I will talk about the problematic of medical waste and how we can provide solution to it. I think COP28 is a place to identify problems and to know and find how we can provide solutions to the problems. Yeah. So what is medical waste? Medical waste is waste generated by hospitals, healthcare centers, veterinarians, dentists. So everywhere in the world you have medical waste. Where there are humans, there are hospitals. So on daily basis, there are medical waste. And it's a dangerous waste because there are a lot of bacteria on it. And if you are in contact with medical waste, there are possibilities of contamination. So this waste has to be treated properly and, of course, not mixed with the domestic waste. And also it has been identified by the World Health Organization as the most dangerous waste on the planet now because of its quantity. So of course, intuitively you can think it's nuclear waste or chemical waste. Yes, of course, it's dangerous, but it's much smaller in terms of quantity. So, in few words, we are a family company existing since 1947, and it has been created by my grandfather. I'm the third generation, and now we are a SME of 50 people in Mons, in Belgium. So the story of EcoSterile is from 20 years now with EcoSterile product to offer our solutions for the treatment of medical waste all over the world. And we are today in more than 65 countries with more than 200 installations. So the medical waste, I like this picture because it's a video actually, but in this picture it's a woman who get a breast cancer, and she's an artist actually, and during her mastectomy, she was shocked about all the medical waste produced just for the operation. So when she has the breast reconstruction afterwards, she asks to the doctors and nurse to keep all the waste generated by that operation, to make this picture, to show to the planet and to the people the quantity of medical waste generated with just one operation. Hopefully she's doing well now. So, the quantity is around, just to give you an idea, of 1 kilograms per day per bed, and this is worldwide. So, of course, we have to treat it correctly. And the problem is in many countries, they are still they mix it with domestic waste and just dump it in the landfill like this. So you have people in contact with it, and when the hill is too high, they burn it openly. So definitely we have to bring solution to that, specifically in Africa, in Asia. In Europe, in South America, there are still a lot of incineration of this kind of medical waste. I don't have to explain you why incineration is not a sustainable way to process it, because it rejects in the atmosphere a lot of dioxin, a lot of furans, a lot of mercury. So even if incineration is useful for domestic waste, for waste to energy, I don't say it's not good for waste to energy, but for medical waste, because of the quantity of plastic, chlorine, etc., it's not good for the environment. There are also alternatives with steam treatment, with autoclave, but it uses a lot of water. Then afterwards you reject water and you have to treat it, and water is now a rare resource on the planet. So the solution proposed by EcoSteril is a 100% electrical-based solution through microwave. So what we will do, yes. So this is to express what the WHO recommend. The WHO recommend, of course, to not incinerate it, and if it's possible, to reuse. So I will go through the video explaining that what we do with medical waste. We will shred it, so to reduce the volume of 80%. And then after shredding it, we will heat it with microwave at a temperature of 100 degrees and keep it during 1 hour at that temperature. After that, the waste going out of our machine will be completely shredded, decontaminated, and assimilated as a domestic waste. So you can be in contact with it without any danger. And afterwards, we propose something completely new, which is recycling the waste. Because in medical waste, you have a lot of plastics, and the value of the plastic is high. You have polypropylene, polyethylene, and instead of just dumping it in the landfill safely because it has been decontaminated, we can recover with a sorting device called R-Steril, and this is unique in the world. And this is why I'm talking here about circular economy. We can recover up to 70 to 80% of the medical waste treated. So specifically polyethylene, polypropylene, and reintroduce it in the system to plasturgist, or it can go also to waste to energy plant because of its high calorific value. So this is exactly what we want to do to close the loop. So from the hospital, collect the waste, treat the waste with just electricity, and not use water, not burn, no gas, nothing, and then reuse and take back the plastic. We have also project to connect the machine one day with solar panel. Like this, we can offer a 100% sustainable machine in countries where electricity is not available on a stable way. So this is how we close the loop, as I said, from the hospital to the decontamination, to the recycling, to reintroduce the plastic in the system. And something we want also to do is through these centers to avoid the transport, because the transport, because with the transport you have a lot of emissions of CO2. So if you have just one center for incineration in one country, it's the case in Belgium, you have to transport the waste all over the country with trucks and have CO2 emissions. With this, you can have a lot of decentralized center, and sometimes even in the hospital, if they have the space, to process the waste in situ. So these are some examples of plants all over the world, and I have to say that what gives us a lot of energy is when we had the chance to travel all over the world, we saw some disaster, ecological disaster, with hills of medical waste, children playing around. And coming back now, I have this example in mind in Kenya, where 15 years ago it was full of medical waste close by the hospitals, and then when the hill was too high, they were burning it openly with dark fumes everywhere. And now, thanks to the willing of the country to invest, the project we developed with them, it's not just our technology. They did it. They did it with a fantastic team from local people. Now we see good machines everywhere and no medical waste anymore. So it's a good challenge, and now we are trying to duplicate that model in many other countries. So we are also collaborating with a research center in Belgium to analyze the waste coming from everywhere in the world, to know what is the idea of the waste and what we can recover from the waste. So that's also important. And thanks to a fantastic network of ambassadors of Belgium, of economic attaché from AWEX, we can spread our solutions all over the world. Without them, it wouldn't be possible. Today, we are recognized by the World Health Organization, by the United Nations. You may think, who are the customer of EcoSteril? First, service providers, so companies doing the collection and the treatment of the waste, so typically big groups like Veolia, Suez, etc. Countries where they have nothing, they have no private sector to help them, so they invest or they can be supported by international organizations. As WHO, the United Nations, they are customers of EcoSteril to support structurally countries, developed countries with our solution. And we are also part of Solar Impulse. Solar Impulse promote 1,000 solutions for a sustainable and for a better planet, and we are proud to be one of the first Belgian solution validated by Solar Impulse. So, yeah, the solution is there. It's important for us. It's important to be here at the COP to discuss with all political leaders from every country, because now our challenge are still between the ends of them, because some regulations are still old-fashioned and not authorize innovation. So they still obliged to incinerate the medical waste. So being at the COP here means a lot, because we have the chance to talk to all of these leaders, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Environment, to ask them to dare to change things, to dare to be more strict and impose better solutions, because these solutions are existing, and for the planet, which deserve it very well, we should act. So that's why we are here. So let's recycle. That's the last sentence, and prevent disease and pollution. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the kind words of our work in AWEX to internationalize the company. But we are very proud of you all. And so, yes, that's why we wake up every morning. So now we have seen the solution in minerals with Groupe Dufour, in plastics with EcoSteril, and now the metals. So I call Mr. Philippe Henry, not the minister, but maybe one day, and so to to present his solution in valorization of critical metals.
Thank you, Fabien, for the introduction. So I'm Philippe Henry. I'm the general manager of Jean Goldschmidt International, which is owning Hydrometal in Belgium, and member of Silox, which is a big group in Belgium producing zinc oxide for the secondary rubber industry. So I'm pleased to present you what is our activity today. So we are active in the recycling of metal for more than 40 years. Okay, so that's very, very clear. What is our expertise? So Hydrometal is a Belgian facility which is able to recycle very complex material by using chemical routes. Okay, so that's typically what we do. So we treat, and the word that have changed for the last 15 years. Today we only treat secondary raw material, we treat residue, we treat byproducts, but that's all the same. Okay, the name has changed, but the activity is always the same. So we are becoming a very important actor in the recycling of metal. The activity of our company is to treat around 70,000 tons of material per year in our plant in Angy, close to Liège. And that's typically what we try to do. So the business is to serve the industry. So keep in mind that 60% of our activity is tolling treatment. So we treat material for others, returning units and metals to them, okay, without having impact on the financial value. That's really to serve the economy and close the loop. So we work with the chemical industry, we work with the steel and the metallurgical industry, and of course the waste collector, which are also today a very important actor. We offer innovative, competitive, responsible, sustainable recycling solutions, okay, especially in base metals. What are base metals? This is zinc, lead, tin, copper, typically the base metals. Minor metals, this is all the minor metals which are used in electronics, like germanium, like indium, for specific application. We also are developing routes to recycle rare earths, which are mainly used and recovered in magnets. And of course, when you touch to base metals, you can, due to the geological route and geological wheel of the metallurgy, you can touch to precious metal. We are also a very important actor indirectly to recycle silver, okay, in our facility. What is our structure? So this is not the intention to really make a commercial presentation. So hydrometal, this is, oh, sorry, this is the activity in Angy. So we have also a sister company in France. So we invest 2 years ago in a new facility in Dunkirk. Okay, so that's a very well-known and attractive site today where we will produce very specific salt for the metallurgy. We have decided to create a company also in a niche activity to recover tin from lead antimony from the battery industry. So that's also a niche activity. And we also have a part in a German activity recycling EAF dust by Wells Technology in Goslar in Germany, where we produce zinc oxide, which is feeding our plant in Hydrometal. We are a member of a big group. We belong to Silox, which is even owned by Preon. Preon is owned by the we. Okay, so that's the investment funds in Wallonia. So you can see our structure is quite diversified, complex, but keep in mind that these are all industrial actors, industrial player. So we have sister company in France, of course, in India, in Canada, and in Germany. Angy, so the plant in Angy is treating 70,000 tons of raw material. We are not a scrap dealer. You are not recycling metallic fractions and so on. We are recycling complex material coming from the circular economy, coming from the non-ferrous metal industry to recover all the metal. As you know, all our activities are very complex, very difficult, ISO certified, but we are fully licensed for the treatment of toxic and hazardous waste, which is very important and not easy every day, but that's typically the job we are doing for a long time. Same in France, same in Thailand. In Thailand, this is a niche activity, so we have also received the support of the AWEX at this time, so we create this entity being a 100% company, owning company in Thailand 3 years ago. The material in Thailand is to recover tin, okay, out of complex material, and this tin is moving to Belgium to be refined, electrolyzed, and reserving to the electronics industry. I think, and we can say today, and we can be proud of that, by using only tin from secondary material, we are not touching to the concentrate, to the ground, to the radioactivity which is in the ground. So we are the only one in the world producing a really low radioactive material which can be used in electronics, in solder industry, and we are quite proud to say that we have our tin which is used to miniaturize all the electronics equipment today. So our capacity in Belgium today to produce tin for the electronics is around 300 tons a year. I speak about that. What are our process? So, of course, and this is one of the key of our activity, we are not a pyrometallurgical industry. So what is the difference between hydro and pyro? In hydro, we use reagents, we use the chemistry to support us. In pyro, we use the thermal, the temperature to support us. When we say temperature, we always say coke, we always say CO2. That's also one of the advantages of our technology by using selective leaching. These are all operating units in hydrometallurgy. This is chemistry, but this is typically what we do. You can see here a picture of our germanium extraction plant. So we have developed more than 10 years ago the recovery of germanium. Germanium is a minor metals. 95% of the germanium is produced in China. where is germanium used in fiber optics. Okay, so that's the only application for that. We recover at Hydrometal around 2 tons of germanium per year, which is 2% of the worldwide production through these recycling activities. We are well supported, okay, thanks to the Walloon authorities, then to the R&D supportive elements. So we are also member of reverse metallurgy, all that kind of thing. So we have developed new R&D laboratory, pilot plants, and you can see a picture of industrial plants. Today, I will speak about the recovery of valuable product from waste, okay, which is for us a possibility to preserve the resources. Okay, it has an impact on CO2 limitation, but it has also a very big impact on the limitation to touch the primary resources, to touch the primary concentrate, and that's why we are very proud to convert that by chemical route. Typically, you can see the type of material we are recycling. We're recycling zinc, flue dust. Zinc has a great property. Zinc, as soon as you heat it, zinc is fumed and recover as a zinc oxide. So the copper industry, which is valorizing bronze, which is valorizing brass, which is valorizing electronic scraps and so on, is generating that kind of material. It's always zinc, lead, copper material. Steel industry, this is the same. So what is the main application for zinc? This is galvanization, okay? So when these galvanized scrap are recycled, you have to get rid of the zinc which is fumed. You can recover the iron, but you have to take care of the zinc. And that's typically the kind of material they are generating during this process. Of course, the lead industry is also generating that kind of material. And that's all those material which are used for us with all the impurities and so on to make what we call at the end a very pure product, zinc sulfate or zinc chloride, which can be used for secondary application. I will not go into detail, but from secondary to end product, we also co-valorize lead, tin, silver, antimony, copper, and the only residue we have is iron manganese, which is itself recovered by a well-skilled technology, which is what we have in Germany. So we can close the loop without generating material which are landfill, and that's also the goal of our kind of company. We have developed with CTP, a quite good collaboration, a new product, okay, starting from zinc chloride and zinc sulfate, a new product which is called zinc oxide for the rubber industry. So it's impossible to produce wheels, rubber, without having zinc in it, okay, that's very important to know. And we have been very lucky to produce a material which was accepted by the rubber industry. Of course, our zinc oxide, even if it's coming from secondary application, is also accepted by the food industry because pigs are using zinc oxide, you know, to be preserved. And that's also one of the potential application from a secondary material for our business. So a summary. We believe we are a leading company in the recycling of non-ferrous metal bearing materials. It's not easy every day, and this is what I said. We are committed to comply with the latest yield safety environmental standards. Of course, we offer a very important know-how in industrializing innovative solutions to preserve our natural resources. And we are the partner of a lot of companies in Europe in the circular economy with a very interesting global market footprint. We can say that the new application we have developed using only chemistry is basically generating 1 ton of CO2 per ton of zinc less than the current route, and that's what we are putting on the market today for the new application. That's the example of other material we are recycling. Well, so sorry for that. So thank you for your attention. So I don't know if you have a question, but I'm available after the...
Yes, I think I'm the luckiest moderator in the world. So everyone is on time. So now our presentation to group them all. So we have a small startup who develop a very innovative software to manage the CO2 emissions. So I give the floor to Mr. John to present the solution of his company. Frédéric, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Fabien. Thank you for the clicker. Good evening, everybody. I'm Frederic, and I'm the last barrier between this session and your evening. So thank you very much for being that many today. So I'm the CEO and the co-founder, and together I'm here with my business partner, Grégoire Talbot, the CEO of the company. And what we do is to develop a software to help our customers to measure and reduce their CO2 emissions. So today, we will be talking about carbon accounting. I know, it raises questions, perhaps a bit of anxiety, right? But I'll try to do my best in the next 10 minutes to explain you why it is important, especially when we are considering circular economy initiatives, and that it's very easy, carbon accounting. It's not that complex, all right? So usually to reduce the anxiety of our customers, what do? We do a lot of awareness. And as part of this awareness, we do a maturity assessment with our customers. So I wanted to do one with you very shortly today. Not with our software, of course, but manually. Literally, manually. I will ask you to raise your hands. All right? You listen to me, you ready? Okay. First question. Which one of these two options would have the lowest carbon footprint? A banana that is produced in Guadeloupe and then shipped overseas in a boat and then distributed in a supermarket? Or would it be a raw meat steak from your local farmer, maybe the farmer you know that lives just next door, right? So please raise your hand if you believe it's the banana that has the lowest carbon footprint. All right, okay. Now, second question. What about a vegetarian steak? Not a meat steak, a veggie steak. Please raise your hands if you believe that it's the veggie steak that has the lowest carbon footprint. All right, okay. Last one, closer to circular economy. We all know this game made of plastic bricks, right? So do you think that it's better to produce them with recycled plastics, rPET, or with brand new plastic made of petrol, ABS? Please raise your hand if you believe that it's with the recycled plastics with the lowest carbon footprint. Okay, interesting. You'll get the answer at the end of the presentation so that you stay with me. But I can see some doubts here on your faces. And that's normal, because you raised your hand by making a choice based on perception, right? You didn't have any metrics. And that's exactly why we exist at Decarbonize, to produce that software, to give our customers the best technology to help them to measure the CO2 emissions so that they can make the best decision to reduce them. And we do that in 12 different countries. So sorry, we don't see that very well on the screen, but we are all around the world in 12 different countries serving more than 45 customers, and most of them are industrial firms. And I can tell you that there is a lot of work to do because we are not on the right direction. This slide is very fresh because this is from an article I read this morning, so thank you very much, Fabien, for the flexibility with the slide. A study expects that in 2023 we will increase by 1.1% the greenhouse gas emissions, whereas on average, for the past 10 years, we increased by 0.5%. So we are not on the right direction. Why? Why is that difficult to reduce CO2 emissions? Why is that a challenge for companies? Well, it's certainly not a lack of ambition, motivation, or commitment. 85% and even more companies pledge to reduce their CO2 emissions. But in the reality, 11% of them effectively succeed to reduce their CO2 emissions. What happens? The issue is the failure to measure. That's really the issue, because we cannot reduce what we do not measure. Would you go to a doctor and get a treatment without having a medical analysis, a medical diagnostic? That would not happen. It's exactly the same for carbon accounting. A company should not make decisions without making sure that the project that will be undertaken will effectively reduce CO2 emissions, obviously if the objective is to reduce the environmental impact. All right? This is very true for circular economy. So I wanted to give you a very simple example. This is a representation, a simple one, of a value chain of a product. You've got the raw material extraction, the transformation of these raw materials, series of transportation, the reporting company that will produce the product. This product will be shipped, used by end users, which will require energy, and then there will be the end of life. I personally led over than 100 carbon footprint assessments, and I can tell you that with the data that we have, we start to see a pattern that looks like a heartbeat. It looks like this. Okay, maybe someone that is a bit excited, but still, it looks like a heartbeat. When you produce a new product made of virgin materials, you create emission peaks across the value chain. One at the production of virgin materials, the second one at logistics flows, usually inbound logistics because you have intercontinental transportation. And also at the energy consumption, the energy that is used to power your product. And when using circular economy initiatives, you will tackle those 4 peaks with 4 different ways. First, if you reuse materials that are already produced, you don't need to extract new materials, right? So you have a benefit there. Second, circular economy initiatives are usually synonym to local economy, relocation. So you shorten these distances. It's better. Third, if you refurbish a product, if you remanufacture a product, what we notice is that you require a bit less of energy. And last, when you get the product, it's the opportunity to upgrade it, to update it. And so we can expect to use a bit less of energy over its usage. So now let's have a look at 2 case studies from experiences with customers. The first one is when, for customers that is manufacturing pieces for train. Train frame, you know, those frames that would support the structure of the train. Thanks to the diagnostic we made, we identified 2 issues related to aluminum, the material, and related to where it is mounted. First issue is with the material, the aluminum. It's brand new aluminum. So obviously, a recommendation would be to try to use recycled materials, recycled aluminum. So of course, the customer does not need us to know that. But did you know that you could save more than 90% of CO2 emissions? That's where a diagnostic is very interesting, where you can come with solid arguments to change your requirements, your specifications, for example, for your product. So here you will tackle the first peak. Second, since the frames are mounted quite far away, you can imagine a frame, it takes a lot of space. So you need a lot of trucks to bring those frames to Belgium. 76 trucks to bring all the frames required for a train, rather than you could transport them with only 2 trucks if they were dismounted and mounted directly in Belgium. 97% of CO2 emissions that you can avoid thanks to that. Here, obviously, you will reduce your logistics and you will use a bit of energy to mount them, but it's very marginal. And still with logistics, another example with a customer that is manufacturing pieces. And these pieces are coming from Asia, certainly Japan. And so here with this customer, what we are doing is trying to use reverse logistics, collecting the elements that are already produced to get them back and remanufacture them, refurbish them, and then ship them away to the customers. And here, there is a lot of potential for saving, and just for the sake of comparison, look at the carbon footprint of a shipment by plane, 1 ton over 100 kilometers versus the rest. The gap is huge. So if you're local, you reduce those CO2 emissions. But circular economy initiatives are not always a good idea. Usually because maybe the reverse logistics will emit more emissions, so you need to be aware of that, or maybe because the recycling of it will need a lot of energy or a lot of chemicals that would be worse in the end than if you produce fresh materials. All right? So now back to the assessment. Here are the answers. Let's see where you stand. Here, in this case, obviously the stack has the highest carbon footprint. You see the difference, 100 grams for a banana versus 10 kilograms for a stack. And the reason is because here, for the steak, we need a lot of raw material. We need a lot of soil, we need a lot of food to feed the animal, and the processing of meat is very consuming. Here, for the veggie steak, most of you got wrong, sorry about that, 600 grams to produce a veggie steak. And the reason is the same. You need a lot of raw materials, you need a lot of transportation, you need a lot of process to manufacture them. So it's the same issue. And last, and I really like this example because it's a very recent one, quite popular in our industry, with Lego. They have invested billions of euros or dollars over the past few years to get a solution to use recycled materials to produce their toys. And the reality is, it doesn't work. Using recycled plastics require a lot of energy and a lot of chemicals that in the end, it's better from an environmental perspective, from a GHG emission perspective, to use brand new plastic. Here, again, the issues with the end-of-life treatment. So I will conclude by that. GHG emissions assessment is very important where you want to know where you stand, where you want to build a carbon reduction strategy, all right? It will help you as well to define, to monitor your impact so that you can be sure, you can have the assurance that you will meet your objectives. And last, and this is important for us, it will reduce your risk. All the projects that you've seen here at COP28 and presented here by the very good speakers, they involve a lot of money. These are important decisions. So you better want to be sure that it will bring the impact that you are looking for before, and you want to monitor over time that it brings that impact, right? So next time you think about to reduce our CO2 emissions or an initiative, please measure to be sure. Thank you very much. Thank you, Fabien.
Thank you, thank you. I must say that we are all jealous that you dare to wear a t-shirt while we all are dressed like we are in winter. But yes, thank you. So I want to thank all the speakers, the minister and the ambassador to be here, and also the technician for their flexibility. Sorry, but yes, you're wonderful. So I will end this presentation and invite you all to join us to the reception and say goodbye to the people who watch us on YouTube.